What's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Keilah. I'm your favorite LA realtor. Let's jump right into the nitty-gritty. If you're new around here, I always have my handy dandy notebook when it is education time, just so we don't miss anything, nothing's misinterpreted, nothing's miscommunicated. I get straight to the point. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so if you live in California, you know that the last couple months here have been kind of intense. Last month, in November, we held our California state midterm election. And after that, things definitely took a turn. We don't know if it's for the worse or for the better, but let's get right into it and talk about it. So it's literally been exactly 1 week since all elected officials have taken office, all new elected officials taken office. There was pretty much change everywhere. Like everybody was kicked out and all new people moved in. Only person that was left standing was our governor, of course, which was Gavin Newsom. And I feel like that was kind of a teeter-totter because we didn't want to go, we didn't want to go backwards, but we're going to give him another term to try to figure it out because he's kind of making some decisions, but he's definitely one that rocks the boat. So here in California, heading into 2023, it is definitely going to be a new day. Like I said, we don't know if it's going to be for the better or for the worse. We were promised so many things, but we don't even know where to begin. But like I said, we're here to discuss all changes. If you currently live in California, the current issues, I mean, every day you walk outside, you can clearly see what the issues are. I mean, I feel like everything is kind of in our face. Nothing is under the surface. The current issues are definitely going to be the economy, crime, childhood education, climate change, healthcare, and I mean, it's honestly just the quality of life and overall everyday living. As far as the overall quality of life of living in California, the cost of living is extremely high. And of course, I'm in the real estate market, so I can tell you that blatantly. Like, it is just unrealistic, whether you're a homeowner or a renter, just the everyday life for anybody, it's high. It's very expensive to live day to day. Also, crime is just ridiculous. I mean, it's something happening no matter where you live. If you live in a $10 million neighborhood, if you live in, a low income neighborhood, the crime is just crazy all over California. And these were a lot of the issues that were brought up in, our midterm election. These were things that everybody wanted to know what was going to be fixed like tomorrow or really like yesterday. Also, another really big thing is a lot of our social policies. Of course, we're a blue state, but I feel like social policies here, obviously it's because you have somebody from, it's a celebrity town. So you have A-list celebrities and, billionaires and millionaires all the way down to, low income people. And I feel like there is such a disconnect in between those two types of people in order to make life here, socially effective. And, we have a lot of things in place that, definitely just rock the boat for some people. And, I'm not here to touch on any social policies, but I am here to just talk about the overall living in California. What I have noticed, a major thing is that many locals like that live in the metropolitan cities like LA, Sacramento, San Francisco, everybody is literally moving to like the suburbs or like the outskirts of the city just because of the inner city social policies, the crime, the high cost of living. Now, do not get me wrong. People love California. We love the weather. We love just the overall like palm trees, the city life. It's a metropolitan area. And I mean, it has its beauty aspects, but I feel like when it comes to the social economics of everything, like I said, it definitely plays on the quality of life because obviously in some of these luxury neighborhoods, when you do go outside, there is a lot of homelessness happening. There's a lot of crime happening. So, it kind of plays on people's mentals. So, people are escaping, the city life because it can be a lot to handle, but nobody necessarily wants to leave the weather, the sun, the palm trees. Like, Once you get outside the city, it pretty much becomes, it's like a whole new world. So people that live on the inner cities of California are definitely living a different life than the rest of the state. With being comfortable in California and living, you know, wanting to be here, people are having to make a lot of sacrifices in order to remain comfortable and, you know, just to remain sane. So now, for one, like I said, people that are comfortable and they've moved to the outer skirts of the city, of the metropolitan area, they are dealing with longer commutes to work. Like I said, most of these people who have moved outside of the city, majority of them are going to be my work from home people. Let me tell you that COVID changed the entire way that California operates right now. And it definitely played a dramatic part on cost of living, crime, and also just overall just economics. Because people that took the opportunity to work from home, they decided to leave the city altogether because they were just fed up with it. So they are sacrificing long commutes, but the main thing is that the city is so expensive that it's pretty much pushing the people out. Because when you go to the outer skirts of the city, you get a lot less, you know, it is more, very more economy fit. You get a lot more bang for your buck, basically. You're getting more room, more space, and it's cheaper. I mean, you could get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath for almost under $500,000 if you move out, you know, further out of the city. And that's definitely a plus for a lot of people. Now, the number one thing happening in California is there was a statistic in 2021 that says we're about 3 million homes short of what we actually needed for people to live. For one, there are not enough homes being built for the amount of people that live here day to day. So of course, we all know that everybody is pretty much roommating, families living together. I mean, hey, everybody is doing what works for them, which is totally fine. Now, because of the low housing inventory, apartments and homes, I mean, there's not just low inventory in houses, there's low inventory in apartments because literally there is nowhere to build anything. So which makes it more expensive to live in homes, because for homes and apartments, everybody is competing. It's literally survival of the fittest. You know, who has the most money to pay? Are you willing to pay top dollar for something that is not even worth top dollar? But it's basically become a money scheme on apartments and houses. Like, everybody is trying to get over on everybody, which is absolutely ridiculous. People are bidding, competing, and overpaying, and they're getting priced out of the city. So they're going to the outskirts because, for one, it's not crowded, it's, you know, not as expensive, and, you know, it just is more reasonable for the quality of life that you're looking for to live in California. So the new things that have happened down here in SoCal, which were the biggest after the midterm elections, which are, we got a new mayor and then we got a new LA County sheriff. So we're expecting dramatic change all across the board from, you know, all over LA County. And, you know, it's very, like I said at the beginning, it's very much in our face, and there's just no denying this. We were made so many promises. We were given a lot of hope. So all we're looking for are for these people to act on their responsibilities. For the economy, unemployment is at its highest rate as it's been since before the pandemic. So, you know, the California economy, I mean, pay salary here is $15, which is, you know, really high for most states, but it does not help the people that live here. This is still very low income pay. You know, you need about $25 an hour in order to survive in California, and that still is probably very low. You're probably just making it. Literally, most people here are living paycheck to paycheck, unless you are you know, a government official, or you're a billionaire, or you're a millionaire, or unless you're a very low income family and the government is literally covering all of your costs. So where does that leave all the people in the middle? California is literally wiping out all of the middle class, and it is a very hard conversation to have. And like I said, many locals are deciding to either move out of the state altogether, or they're moving to the outer skirts, because then they don't have to deal with the economic policies. They don't have to live with the high city living. It's just very more reasonable and realistic for a lot of families. I also read something the other day that says within the next 5 years, California will literally have no middle class families. You will either be needing to make about $250,000 plus a year to survive here, or like I said, you'll need to be so low income that the government is covering all of your costs and all of your housing. It kind of just puts everybody, even myself, we're all just in between a rock and a hard place to figure out what's going to happen within the next 5 years. So like I said, we got a new mayor, we got a new sheriff, but what are these people really going to bring to the city? And I'm not here to stir up any trouble or, you know, pick a side or anything, but California needs drastic change. You know, over the summer, Governor Newsom passed a bill that said by, 2035, there won't be any gas car sales in order to combat with climate change. When we had the heat wave in August, at the end of August, at the end of July coming into the beginning of August, they literally told us that they didn't know if the power was going to go out because we did not have enough power on our electric grid. So everybody that drove a Tesla, all of those people that did not have enough power, or, they have generators, those people were told to unplug. They were told not to charge for the next, I want to say it was next 3 to 5 days. So you're telling people that there won't be any gas car sales, like this bill has already passed, but then at the same time, we don't have enough power on the grid to suffice electricity. So it was kind of like, well, that's an oxymoron, because if this is going to be the plan for the next, what is that? That's 10 years. I mean, well, it's like 13 years, but 10 years, rough, they're going to start planning for this. It's kind of like, well, what are we planning for if we already see now, 10 years before that it's not working? You haven't laid out any plans. We're just left between a rock and a hard place, literally, because we don't know what's going to happen here over the next 5 years. Also, it's California, so healthcare is dramatically expensive here because, of course, we have, High Doctors, Kaiser, Cedars-Sinai. We have all of these luxury doctors, but people barely can afford this. And like I said, this is not affecting the low income people or, the upper class. These things are only affecting the middle class. So it's like, where do we stand, within the next 5 years? It's just really hard to see the future here in California where, ever since COVID or even before, the things have been so rocky, so up in the air, and we just don't know which way to turn. At one point, California did believe that immigration was going to help with the economy, because obviously once all of those people became citizens, then they were able to get, paying jobs, they were going to be able to pay taxes, and that would of course boost the economy. But ever since COVID, even like before COVID, it takes the county so long to process migration applications. Everything that is going on down at the border is absolutely insane, which is affecting our economy because, this is right at the California border. So these are things that we are paying for as tax-paying citizens. No, they don't want to tell us that, but I just know, us being on the real estate side of things, that these are actually things that we are paying for. Like I said, California will soon be pushing out the middle class people. And, now that midterms are over and we're going into 2023, I really want to see which way California is going to turn. Like I said, it is beautiful. We love the weather. We love the palm trees. We love the sun. When everything is great, it is great. But when things are bad, they are really, really bad. And even just walking outside day to day, it's just a hard reality to face. We just want to see where these new elected officials, I mean, starting January 1st, like they just got elected, you know, they got sworn into office last week. So us as California citizens really want to see where this is going to turn, because we just need so much more. And, you know, even people that are moving here, everything looks like glitz and glamour and sunshine. But once you get here and you look outside, it's an entire different world than what you see inside your home. But like I said, I'm not here to, you know, pick a side. I just have hope. You know, I hope all of these elected officials keep all of their promises, you know, clean up the streets, bring the beauty back to the city. I mean, literally, we're supposed to be hosting the Summer Olympics in about 2024 or 2026, somewhere around there. Don't hold me to the year, but it is here. It's gonna be here before you know it. So it's like we have so much to do, but they focus on all of the tourism and bringing people here, but nobody is focusing on the people that are actually here. What are we gonna do for our middle class families to help them? The California home median price is $835,000, which means you need to be making over $150,000 a year just to even make that payment. And trust me, if you go around, I mean, it depends on what part of the city you're in, but $835,000 house is not always a great house either. It's still gonna be a house that maybe needs some fixing, maybe needs some touch-ups. It's not gonna be a brand new turnkey house. In some neighborhoods, it may be, but in a lot of neighborhoods, it's not gonna be the best house, and it may not even be the best neighborhood. But you know, those are also things that I cannot touch on, you know, just as a realtor, because even in Beverly Hills, there's crime. There's not the best houses. There's homelessness. So it's like, no matter where you go, it's everywhere. There's no getting away from it. We're gonna see how these new elected officials work their policies and, you know, really try to get California out of, you know, the ditch that we are in. And, you know, I was not here to make this a negative video, but I just wanted to be very honest with what is going on in our city. I mean, yeah, it's just, we need dramatic change. And I'm not, as a California citizen, I'm not born and raised here, but I've been here for 12 years. I've been here since 2009. I've seen California change so many different times. It's better than when I first moved here in 2009. But it is also taking a drastic turn for, like I said, I don't know if it's for the worse or for the better. I know all states kind of go through their, you know, good times and bad times. And, you know, when there's a shift on the economy, all those things can take a toll on, you know, just the quality of living. So, you know, for anybody that is looking to move here, I mean, these are the things that, you know, we're dealing with. And like I said, it is not all bad. There are things I love about the city. This is just the current state of, you know, life here in California. This is where the economy is. And, you know, we're just in one of those rock and a hard places, like I said at the beginning, where we just don't know which way to turn. And we're just looking for our post-pandemic life to change, you know, because we went through, if not the most, because obviously we're one of the biggest states in the country. Our pandemic life was absolutely insane, and we just took a downhill during the pandemic. And we are just looking for that quality of life to not necessarily go back to pre-pandemic, but looking for some changes and, you know, economic changes and some just general quality of life changes. So we're really hoping that all these new elected officials just uphold their policies and, you know, give us some sunny days, some better days, and, you know, just really work with the middle class on changing our economy, because we all want to live here. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, this is my Instagram. Feel free to comment below. I want you to subscribe to my channel because, you know, as the new year becomes, we are going to be getting touched on a lot more things. I want to show you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly of California. And, you know, that is why I'm here, because I brand myself on honesty, transparency, and, you know, integrity. So I'm not gonna give you all of the good things without giving you the bad. You know, I'm out in the field every day and I see what my people are going through in my community. You know, I'm in the middle. I'm also a part of the middle class, because I definitely will say I am not making over, you know, $200,000 a year. We just want something different. We want something new. We don't want to be priced out of the city. We don't want it to become, you know, a state of the have and the have-nots. You know, I don't think it should be a thing where either you have to, you know, be a millionaire or a billionaire, or you have to be completely low income to live here. And I mean, these are even people that are native here, you know, that were born here. They're even going through these changes. But as you see, like I said, there's a lot of locals that are completely just throwing in the towel and leaving. So, you know, I'm here to talk to you. I'm here for you guys. I hope everybody has a great holiday, end of the year, and I will see you guys in 2023.